sports. It's who we are. It's what we do. It's how we roll. It's wins and losses, highs and lows. It's effort, respect, and dedication. The High School Sports Beat. Sports. It's who we are.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Now, during these trying times, we hope that everyone is staying safe and staying home. We'll continue to bring you the Sports Beat with a chance to reflect on some of the stories we've covered over the last 9 years. Starting this week with where it all began, our very first story from September of 2011. Here's Bill Pucko with a profile on HFL swimmer Cari Stankaitis.
An important element in the life of Cari Stankaitis, a junior at Falls-lima High School. It isn't the only one.
I have wind ensemble at the end of the day, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays I have jazz ensemble after school, and then practice for swimming comes right after that. Or in the spring, it's lacrosse.
Her versatility fails to suppress her most outstanding skill. Most elite athletes at the high school level are totally engrossed by their chosen sport. That is not the case with Cari. HFL coach Norm Scheckler has seen them all. In 30 years, he is the only swim coach the Cougars have ever had. And he thinks Stankaitis can become his best.
We saw her, in a middle school swim meet, so I knew she had some talent, but I didn't know if she was really that good yet. Kind of like her coming out day was in a dual meet as an 8th grader, and we all just kind of saw her times come on. There's 2 real fine swimmers at Dansville that have been to states, and she went up against them, and she was real strong. So we kind of knew that, here she comes.
A 50 and 100-yard sprint specialist, Cari developed fast, and as a freshman, was state champion.
It was actually really shocking that I won as a freshman. I didn't think at the beginning of the season that I had any chance. I just wanted to make it back to states, and it was hard to realize that I won after it happened, but it sunk in and it was awesome.
Last year she finished 3rd in both events.
Last year I did not win states, but I got a faster time, so that's what means the most to me, and I'm just working to get a faster time. Each year I go back to states, and whether I win or not is irrelevant as long as I improve.
Which is all but guaranteed given her overall profile.
She pretty much excels at everything she does. She's a really good student. She's a great citizen. She's a volunteer person. She does a lot of stuff. She likes to do it well. I mean, she's a perfectionist. She cares very much about it. When her time is off, you can see she's not happy about it.
Have you got a way about you that this is how I'm going to do this. This is how we're going to work together?
I kind of look at each kid in their as an individual. I can't say that I have an exact way for any one kid, but you get to know them and you know how you can talk to them. You know which one, if you're going to yell at them, then cry, and which ones need me to yell at them so that they get inspired. So I can't say that there's any one way.
Cari went on a star on the swim team at Cornell, where she was the team's overall achievement winner her senior year. She now works as a physical therapist. Well, coming up next, Matt Trabold joins us for the High School Notebook. We'll have that and more when the High School Sports Beat continues. Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. It is time now for the High School Notebook, and joining us once again via Skype, Matt Trabold. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, let's talk now about the NFL draft coming up, and some local guys got a chance to kind of show their stuff and maybe get a little whiff from some of these guys.
Yeah, so due to coronavirus concerns, a number of Rochester-bred college seniors with those pro football aspirations, they unfortunately had their collegiate pro days canceled and were thus worried about the resulting decrease in exposure from these NFL scouts because of it. In steps Bruce Johnson. He's the former Gates Chili, University of Maine in college, and then he had some time as a center, Philadelphia Eagles, San Diego Chargers back then. He ran a complete pro day with all the testing drills that you would see on TV for the Indianapolis overall NFL Combine. He headed to Irondequoit April 4th for these local prospects. The top moment, I think, for everybody was University of Maine receiver from Aquinas, Ernest Edwards. He ran a 4.41 40-yard dash. That would have been top 15 among guys who decided to run that dash at the 2020 NFL Combine in Indianapolis that I was referencing a second ago. Then on top of that, Dartmouth quarterback from Rush Henrietta, Jared Gerbino. He's trying to break into the NFL as a Taysom Hill. That's the really jack of all trades on offense recently for the New Orleans Saints. He was a collegiate quarterback himself. He's trying to be that style, an ultra-versatile offensive piece. And at this combine, at this pro day, he showed that size, athleticism, hands, because he might be a tight end kind of type in terms of an offense in the NFL. He showed all those attributes to be a Taysom Hill kind of guy. Then also competing in this streamed combine, it was streamed by another recent NFL name in Quentin Gauze. Well, his brother, JoJo Gauze, former Bishop Kearney receiver, he was included. Also, Webster Thomas, long snapper, and tight end Alex Hutchings. A great event for all. And it's really good to get these guys exposure, not just with their pro days being canceled, but a lot of them are smaller school guys, so it's really good to see.
It's awesome, too, that the local guys who were organized that got this together for them to try and make up for what they might have been missing out on.
Yeah, locals helping locals. You really like to see it in all aspects, both the coaching, the guys taking times with the stopwatches, and then the guys in Quentin Gauze, in Kayla Gauze, that were behind with Iron Visuals, their production company, showing everything they had. A lot of guys with cameras out there. It's really good to see.
Awesome stuff, Matt. Hey, now let's talk about, we're talking about these guys wanting to make that jump to the pro level, and another guy local who has decided that he's going to take that step as well.
Yeah, so Isaiah Stewart. Within the last week, Rochester got its first ever illustrious basketball one-and-done situation because John Wallace obviously had his NBA time, but not quite a one-and-done coming out of Syracuse. So that happens. Former McQuaid Jesuit Knight and Washington star freshman Isaiah Stewart. He declares for the 2020 NBA draft recently, and he signs with Rock Nation, Jay-Z's agency. So that's just an extra level of him going from college to the NBA. Into pro basketball. National mock drafts have him going anywhere from the lottery at pick number 12 to more towards the end of the first round, pick number 28. So it's really a wide gamut right now of guys trying to gauge where he can go and what NBA teams will be looking for out of him. So his NBA readiness right now warrants a lottery pick, in my opinion. His strengths as a prospect, having not just a high-level college body, but an NBA body since not prep school, but even high school. A while ago, he's had this kind of bulk above his peers, especially in the front court for a long time now. Talk all the way back to McQuaid. He can bully opposing bigs, carve out that space inside, and score quickly in the post because of it. 7'4", wingspan helps him versus taller players. He's 6'9", which is not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but especially if he's going to be playing center against some 7-footers in the NBA, that really helps with that. His style of play really gets him to the line a lot, and on top of it, adds a big shot, 77% from the free throw line at Washington, which is a big deal if you're going to be getting there a bunch. It might not be the sexiest style of basketball in terms of him scoring from the line, but the analytics guys will love it. They just love that production, I assume, from the NBA level. And if you're really looking at NBA comparisons, Elton Brand with that wingspan over the height. And then in the current NBA, Montrezl Harrell. So I think he really does have a good future ahead of him.
All right, great stuff, Matt, as always, and something to look forward to when all this is said and done. All right, thanks again, Matt. Great time as always. You take care. All right, bud.
Thanks for having me on.
And we're back with more of the High School Sports Beat right after this. Coming up next is the Making the Grade nominee with Kyle O'Gara, and later, boys soccer action from our first episode ever with Penfield and Irondequoit. We'll have that when the High School Sports Beat returns.
Welcome back, and thank you for watching the High School Sports Beat. I'm Kyle O'Gara.
Making the grade this week is Churchville Chi-Li senior Luke Molnar. Luke is a captain of the hockey team. In his hockey career, Luke has been on the first team All-County and on the 2020 Bowman Cup Showcase selection team. In the classroom, Luke has a 98.6% average and is on the high honor roll. In addition, Luke has also been the Division Scholar Athlete 2 years in a row. Outside of school, Luke holds a part-time job and plans to attend college after graduation. This week, Luke Molnar is making the grade.
If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. Send them into mtg@rocksportsnow.com. Now here's Dave in the McArdle Section 5 Spotlight.
Thanks, Kyle. Here's how some of the athletes, teams, and coaches are handling quarantine. In this week's Section 5 Spotlight, brought to you by McArdle's in Fairport. Come home to McArdle's.
McArdle's is open for takeout and delivery with DoorDash and Grubhub every day of the week. Visit our website, eatatmcardles.com.
Marcus Whitman Athletic Director Paul LaHue is sharing daily workouts during the quarantine. He's having some fun with it.
Push-up position. You do your single push-up and then rotate at the top. Next time, push up.
Good morning, Wildcats. It is day 19 of our quarantine workouts. Today, I want you to get outside again, play catch with somebody if you have someone in your family to do so with a baseball, softball. Myself, I'm going to shoot some hoops. Get out there and just try to exercise. Buckets. You know why? It's a great day to be a Wildcat.
The Waterloo softball team has got a challenge for other teams to do at home and share. The hashtag Plank Toss Challenge. It's a little harder than it looks. Canandaigua boys lacrosse coach Devin York is sharing some practice routines, like this one by senior goalie Chase Morgan.
One-hand, two-ball juggling. This will increase your hand-eye coordination as well as your reaction time. So what you're going to do is just keep your arm moving in a circle, trusting your peripherals down low to catch your ball with your hand, your dominant hand. All right, so just keep your hand moving in a circular motion. And make it into a game, make it fun, and challenge your friends over social media because social distancing.
If your team or school would like to share their quarantine activities, workouts, or challenges, let us know. Tag @HighSchoolSportsBeat on social media. Well, coming up next, we flash back to our first game of the week ever when the High School Sports Beat continues.
And now to Eichel. He floated one.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us on the High School Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. We're going to head back to our first show in September of 2011 for a boys soccer game between defending Section 5 champs in Penfield and Irondequoit, and a game that came down to the final seconds. Here's Bill Pucko.
The man on the spot was sophomore starting defender Evan Orlando, who found himself playing in the Penfield goal. The Patriots compromised in two positions for their big game with Irondequoit. Starting keeper Dan Lind was out for this one, following emergency dental work.
We were playing Fairport, and ball got played into the sun. I couldn't see it, and it just came out. I think it was my own guy actually got an elbow, caught me in the mouth, and hurt pretty bad.
I mean, I've played keeper for a while. I know what I'm doing. I've played under Dan for a while. He's a great keeper. I know what he's doing, know how to play. But I was a little nervous in the beginning, but once through the game, I got good. I was good.
Irondequoit took notice.
We wanted to drop some balls into the box and see what he does with it, and you know, probably his first time in there, and we want to challenge him a little bit and see what he does coming off his line and things like that. So, every time you get a new goal, you want to test him out a little bit.
Penfield broke through first. Matt McLaughlin, with the first of his 2 assists, got the ball in front for Ben Swanger. The goal came at the 13-minute mark. It was 1-0 Patriots. That goal stood to the half. There were 4 more to come.
Played this angle, beat him to the flank, Ben got up into the attack, perfect delivery, Ben nods it off, it looked easy. You know why? Because it is easy. Let's follow the same formula.
We haven't seen him come off his line. And we haven't tested him coming off his line. All right, the one that he did catch was up here.
Three, 1, 2, 3, let's go! Let's go! Come on, Penfield!
The first goal of a wild second half came 13 minutes in. Off an Eagle corner kick, Richie Flugel got it deep to Shane Joyce, who found an opening for his first goal of the season.
I don't know, came off a corner kick, got flicked over the top, so I don't know, I took a touch, took a chance, and ended up going in the goal, so I was really psyched about that, and it tied the game up.
7.5 minutes later, the Patriots got that lead back. It was McLaughlin to Paul Lentine this time. It was 2-1 Penfield.
And they were too slow to get to it, so I just muscled through, got the shot, the goalie got a touch to it, but I just saw it rolling in. Just sweetness right there.
With inside of 3 minutes left on the clock, Irondequoit had a direct kick from just outside the box. The resulting scramble in front of the net led to the game-tying goal scored by Charlie Cosentino, who got his 7th goal of the year. There was just 2:44 left. Penfield had one last crack at it. Lentine wound up with the ball and was defended well in front of the Irondequoit net, but managed a pass to senior midfielder Kurt Pruner, who with 4 seconds left slipped it past the keeper, off the post, and into the net. The 3-2 game winner.
Well, geez, you knew the clock was ticking down. What was that like?
I didn't know how many seconds was left. I couldn't really look up to get a check, but I knew there was under 10, so I just kind of didn't have time to draw it across. I just had to try to put it in.
How exciting was that when you saw it go in?
Oh my gosh. I actually didn't see it. I heard it go off the post because I was on the ground. Then I looked up and going in the back of the net, and it's unreal. It's unreal.
3-2 was the final score. Penfield claiming its 4th straight win over Irondequoit in this battle of defending Section 5 soccer champions.
We're missing our keeper. We have to shift around a little bit back. They're missing a midfielder. Nobody's got any excuses today. Both teams were a little under-equipped, but the quality was high and the sportsmanship was good. It was a clean, hard match. It's fun to watch. I mean, if you're a spectator, you get your money's worth, especially since they don't charge admission at these games.
We'd like to thank the athletes, teams, and coaches in Section 5. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Take care, and please, everyone, be safe.